Want some money, then let me see you twerk. Yeah, broke, yeah, go to work, bitch. Modern day, yeah, these niggas, yeah, they worthless. Old state, hoes getting shirtless.
Yo, I'm back with another episode of I'm Just Saying. Matter of fact, episode 102. The introduction is done by my boy SJ Wop. Today I have in the building my boy Adrian. Tell him what it is, my boy.
Adrian Pollard, a singer, writer, actor, R&B, gospel from Savannah, Georgia, though I've spent probably more.
Hold on, wait a minute. But I got shocked just then when you said that, because that's the area I'm from.
Is that right?
Down by Tybee Island and St. Simon's Island and
That explains
Chatham.
a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead, take them away, man.
Been here for a minute, you know. I will kind of back and forth throughout the years. I officially moved to Penn 03, so I've kind of been in the metropolitan area maybe a little longer than I'd been down there, but, you know, still pretty much where I'm from.
Man, you said metropolitan area, which mean D.C.? Or in Atlanta?
You know.
Oh, yeah, in
Atlanta
city.
is not really Atlanta. You know,
Yeah,
you
you're
say
right.
Atlanta, you know, you might be Stone Mountain or it might be
yeah, you're right.
Marietta. So I've been here long enough to know that, you know, Atlanta is Atlanta, and then you have your metropolitan area.
You're right, absolutely. It's crazy how they got the zones all separated and divided, and you be on one side in 10 minutes, and next minute you be, you know, when I first moved there, I was like, hold on, wait a minute, fam. Like, everything is jammed in one.
Yep.
I'm like, literally, it's a big circle, you know what I mean? But, you know, yeah, man, but I'm not going to take away the, you know, the stage from you. So, tell us, I heard you say you do gospel, you do acting. Matter of fact, let me get into the acting. I saw a clip that you had on your IG. Tell me a little bit more about that film or what was you working on?
You're probably referring to the one I did with BET Plus.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've got a story to tell. It was episode 6, The Following of Angela Whitaker.
Man.
It's a 6-part anthology. Came out in January? Sometime January, I think it came out.
Oh, man, when I first saw you, I was like, he actually putting in some work.
Hey.
You know, cause you know a lot of these guys be on the internet. I ain't trying to take away from anybody, not saying anything like what you're doing, but it's like, you know, you go to some people's pages and you look, and it's like you see a bunch of bullcrap. You know, like, you know, a bunch of massive stuff. Like I said, I'm not here to take away from anybody, but it's like, you know, when I saw yours and I saw Slap Davis, I was like, holy crap! Like, these dudes are really, you know, separate the real from the fake. Now let's get to the gritty. You know what I mean? I'm like, these guys are actually
we're working,
putting in work. And I was on set with Slap Davis at the Booster movie. I didn't know who he was. Mm-hmm. And then he finally he like, man, I'm following your IG. So he followed me. I was like, hold on. Everybody like, yeah, slap. I'm like going through. I'm like, this man is the truth. But I ran into you. I was like, these guys are really working. They grinding. You know, less IG time, more work into their craft.
Yes.
And
But
I
you got to start
that.
somewhere, though.
Oh yeah.
You got to start
absolutely.
somewhere.
Absolutely.
That's a good thing about the way things are now. You can actually start on IG.
Yeah.
You know, do whatever you can to put yourself out there and broaden your scope.
So tell me a little bit about your lifestyle in Savannah. I know I love them shrimps and grits. And, well, I want to go there.
I'm not a grits man, but you know, it was simple. You know, I grew up there, like I say, you know, born and raised. A lot of good memories, childhood memories.
So you familiar with Georgia Southern University?
Say that again?
Georgia Southern University, GSU?
I actually went to Savannah State.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I love them, too.
Yeah.
You know, GSU, we got the Eagles, and we got the Tigers, and we got the,
It's been a long time, so, you know, my memory might be a little foggy.
Hey, look. No, but respect. Yeah, so, Channel kind of, man, like, I remember, you know, like, well, I was in the midst of in between the two, you know, from Florida to Savannah to the Highland of Augusta, Georgia, and back and forth, man. Tell me a little bit about like about your childhood, like you backyard football, high go see, you know, what brought you to being more creative that I'm trying to get to, you know, start acting and, you know, doing the other things that you're doing right now.
Well, so my parents divorced when I was like 2-3 years old, and my father met, you know, another woman, and my mother met, you know, guy, and my stepfather, he was into music. Let's say his family was into music, my family was into music, and he had this idea to move to Atlanta. You know, back in that day, everybody came to Atlanta, hot Atlanta.
I can relate.
To get that record deal, and you know, I think right before the move, I distinctly remember that I think he came home with an album, and that was like when I just like I was young, right? So I was like, I liked the way it was sounding, and I just started singing.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that's when I discovered
It's lit up.
singing. It was music was just music, but when it came out of me, that's when I was like, yeah, I like this. And then of course, my grandmother had me singing in the church, and we moved to Atlanta, and his dream actually came true. He was working on a golf course. He was washing golf carts and watering the grass, and I think he was driving a couple gentlemen around, and one of them happened to be the father of manager of a pretty popular group here in Atlanta. And I was of that age, and he groomed my voice, and I auditioned, and it's funny, just like I often don't know who these people are. I'm just, so
absolutely.
It was kind of one of those things that got me at my most genuine, and I was just singing and dancing and doing what I do, and next thing you know, I was being offered a deal,
Wow.
by Dallas Austin. You might know who that is.
Yeah, I know Dallas. He's still out here, by the way?
What's that now?
Is he still out here, by the way?
I wouldn't know. That was a
that's
long
crazy.
time ago. I imagine he probably is.
Man, you got some real connections.
And that's the difference between meeting people and having connections.
Right.
But that was where it began. But then of course, spirituality came in, and there was a lot that I had to figure out at such a young age. So I didn't really take advantage of that opportunity then. But I continue to be creative and write songs and sing, and pretty much always been an actor. I was just one of those kids that was just always being pushed out front to do something.
Yeah, you're versatile with it, I see.
Right.
Yeah, you can do more than one thing. Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's interesting that you say that, because my main focus was always music. But it wasn't until maybe, I would say 2019, about maybe 5 years ago, that I decided to actually focus on acting. And I was like, it jived with my personality.
Yeah.
It's like I am pretty much often in the wrong place in my life, right? Because actors, I don't know if you've been around many actors, but we tend to get bored easily. So we try to turn the whole room into a sitcom or something. So it's like it doesn't really fit with where I am often. And it's like, let me give that a shot. And sure enough, I came into company with many actors, many sets, plays, films, and just like the behind the scenes and how things go, and we do we look into the characters, the script study, and table reads and things of that nature. And it's just like some things are just natural.
Yeah.
Some things are just natural, and from there, I made connections. Actual connections.
That's right. Connections too.
Connections.
Yep, that's right.
And the thing is, a lot of times we look at how we chase after the big, the mega. I always remembered, even as a child, when I met Dallas Austin and Kevin Wells and ABC. I met them. They were in an empty apartment.
What?
It was an empty apartment. I don't even know where it was. I remember it must have been by an airport, because I remember the more we drove, the closer the planes got. I just remember that. It was a completely new experience for me this is when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember I walked in, and there's just a bunch of kids in the room, and they just rushed to the door, and they're just looking, and I'm looking, and I didn't think anything strange at all, because it was a different time, right? So. And a couple gentlemen, and I was doing my thing, and like I remember I went to school the next day, and I think all the kids went to the bathroom, and I was still in the classroom with this girl who used to sit behind me. It's kind of odd, because she didn't really like me, but on this particular time, this opportunity, this moment, she wanted to know about me.
Oh man!
And so I didn't really have anything to tell her. I was like, well, I sing. I was supposed to be singing with this group called ABC. I had no idea who they were, because at that time I was all Michael Jackson. If it wasn't Michael Jackson, I didn't know who you were. But I actually learned that way So it was like, I was like, well, so I know you have to, what did they say? Don't despise not humble beginnings.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that was not their beginning, but just like apparently what they would do is they would rent out an apartment, and that's where they would practice, and that's where they would sleep between tours on tour or whatever. So it was kind of tucked away where nobody would think to look. Sense. So a lot of times it's right there in front of you. Yeah. Even a lot of these films that we shoot and stuff, it's right there in front of you. You could turn this into
a scene. Absolutely, and that's
it's
what
like
we do.
We're on the podcast.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
absolutely.
That was how I got started. It's a long story.
Okay, cool. Okay, so far as like anyone that's into the gospel, how would I put? I don't want to say hip hop or R&B, but gospel. It's wide range of gospel now. And I don't want to get all up, tingle all up, mixed. Disrespect. That part of the business. But so how can you like tell other folks like how to get distros and all that and that type of world you in? Like how can they distribute like their music to the right people? I'm trying to say to the right audience if you making that type of music.
Give me that question again.
Like, how can you actually, if you in that lane making that type of music, like gospel music, okay. Gospel, is it gospel hip hop, gospel R&B, or just like straight up gospel? I know Kirk Franklin and all. I don't want to get anything mixed all up. You know what I mean?
And that is good. With my limited knowledge, you have gospel, you have Christian.
That's I don't want to mix. That's why I want to mix it all up together. You know what I mean?
Right. One tends to go more towards praise and worship, while the other is more testimonial.
Okay.
But even still, like as far as you mean marketing yourself?
Yeah, marketing yourself and putting yourself out there towards those kind of people to get your music out there.
I think that it should actually be easier for you to market yourself in gospel than in anything else because, you got a church on every corner.
So you can just go there
it's not hard to just knock on the door and say, hey, can I sing this Sunday?
Man.
You got some ministries that are, a little up there in Sedity and they have their,
that's why
their ways of doing things.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I didn't know how it worked.
But, when you're talking about ministering to people, sometimes it's best to just start with where you are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you can be trusted with the few, you can be trusted with the many.
Yep, the many.
If you can't just walk up to the big dome church and just say, I want to get on your program, then you know what? Start with the church that's right next to you.
Right next to it, the small one.
Because those are the people that the one you want to minister to too. They're the ones that they're going to buy your record. Mm-hmm. They're the ones who are going to say, I remember. Mm-hmm. You don't want to step over people because everyone counts. Right?
Yep. That's what I say. I say the same thing.
Right. And so since there are so many churches, I mean, I would say start in your neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
And then just move around. I mean, it's that's how you build word of mouth. You're providing a service. Mm-hmm. It's a business. You're providing a service.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they have to start where you are.
Yeah. So you got to start off from the bottom and get to the top, right?
Absolutely.
Take time. So I'm an absolute believer, especially with patience. Practicing patience and being humble and knowing the right time to move into action, take things into action. Because a lot of us we get so far ahead of ourselves and don't actually take the consideration to think before they actually take the leap of faith, and then you fall flat. Then I just give up. No, you should have just practice patience and went to it in the right way. Maybe you could have succeeded. You know what I mean? Like I say, you got things take time. Like I was just hearing you saying, like you started as you was young, and you had to mold yourself into that. I can only imagine being that young and you're around all these people and you don't but you got to get used to it. You got to grab yourself by the bootstraps and get used to it and work. You know what I mean? It's amazing though, man. That's why I had to bring you in. I was like, I went through yourself like this just not the average IG you know what I mean? You can tell, you can tell, big, come on. And I'm looking like, wow, I gotta get this guy and I want to talk to him, and I was like, now speaking to you, it's like, I can see, I can feel the energy, brother. Like, you're destined for something great, and that's why he talking like, yo, I thought I was playing like, I want to be in some of your film. Like, I want to be in like Brandon. I want to be down. I'm just playing with you. But yeah, I was like, I was like, I'm willing to put myself out there, and take the risk of trying to be an actor and reading scripts and learning from people that's been doing it longer than me. So that's why I'm always, trying to, lend an ear like, yo, I want to learn how to do this. I'm always, I love to learn. That's just me, period. I don't care what it is. If I don't know how to do it, or, someone beside me, yo, teach me how to do that. Because you never know, you learn that. You make it help somewhere, do this. That's why I say it all lead back to, us helping each other, you know what I mean? And, being there leaning on like, hey, that's why with the podcast, like, if you got anything come in, spend some time, let's kick it for a little bit, see what you got going on, now I know, like, you're doing a lot. So, I can respect that. Definitely respect that.
Appreciate it. It's, if you don't know where to start, sometimes jumping in is good. You always want to be humble, regardless. Especially once you get the wheels turning. That's you don't want to break the wheel, but just make sure that you learn from your errors, learn from your mistakes. While it is I've been entertaining pretty much forever, I haven't made as much traction as one would think with the time that I've had. So there's a lot of learning and learning people. With this recent growth spurt, I would say that actually started in more of a service role. So as an EMT, I was qualified to serve as a set medic. So that's something, when you get in the business, sometimes it's good to just get in the door. That means find a role that you can play. Maybe you do photography, you can be behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? There are always advertising on Facebook particularly. They need extras, they need what are they looking for out there? Behind the scenes, that's BTS, that's the people that take the pictures, kind of like what he's doing.
Yep.
PAs, that's the producers, production assistants, and director assistants. People that, a lot of times titles sound more than it really is.
Yes,
so you don't want to be intimidated by it.
I agree, absolutely.
And it's also, some things also set up to weed out those who are serious about something and those who just have a dream, So sometimes you just respond to things and just say, hey, I can do this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how you get in. You still have your goal. You have your goal. I'm an actor. I'm a singer. When I my first set medic job was for a company called Smoot Films. It was a film, I think it's called Mary Switchmas is what I think it's called. It was being directed by Terry Vaughn. Executive producer, her husband, Karan Joseph Riley. I met some people there,
Yeah, you have, man. I'm just shaking my head like, it's amazing.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to say too much, but, I served the set medic. That was like maybe a 2-3 month project. And day one, I connected with Lem Collins. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's a lot behind the scenes, a lot of stuff. Script works. You was in. I got a story to tell. He was also, you might have seen another clip on my page called Quantum Leaf.
Yeah, I've seen a lot, man. I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
They do that, and day one we met and exchanged contact information, and he has been my biggest connection so thus far. He's always calling me for something.
See, that's good because you built a relationship, not just I want to work, so I'm gonna call him every time. You built a relationship with this guy, so that's why he can call you. You're dependable,
right? And so I'm not just exactly dependable is the key because it's a business. There's a lot of people that have talent, but they don't have the discipline. There's a lot of people who have a name already, and they think they can just rely on that, and then it's like you need to kind of bring the quality with the brand.
That just happened to me too. I definitely. I agree. Yeah, that's true. So let's talk about like the ups and downers of your career and like the sacrifices that you have made to be in the position that you're in right now.
Sacrifices. Well, I would say sacrifice.
Getting mad. Oh man, I can't read this, or just blowing thing off like in the midst of reading a script or something. Like you just.
Well, I never hit. No,
you just hit it.
No,
keep going.
I'm gonna get into that too. That's discipline.
I see it though, man. I mean, like,
but like sacrificing, I would say, have a support system. And if you don't have a support system, be ready to support yourself.
True.
You single, you live alone. It's nothing wrong with working a job while you trying to get to where you trying to go. You know what I'm saying? That's even with the set medic thing. I provided a service and I learned how things happen behind the scenes, and I met people. I networked. A lot of times you can't network unless you're around people.
True.
Right. So, but sacrifice, I would say, the sacrifice is kind of built in. Yeah. Because it's not you go in and now you're on TV and now you just got a bunch of money or whatever. People think. That's just one job.
Yeah,
you have to use that to build a brand and get another job and another job, increase your value. Only 11% of actors actually work full time. Did you know? Yeah. You got people that are just on regular day jobs.
Oh, yeah.
They have regular day jobs, and you can see them, in Walmart. You might, anywhere. And because we're trying to make it. And some people are too proud to do that, and they'd rather just drive Uber or something instead of just go get an actual job.
That's what I do, man.
And balance and manage your time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do. But just don't stop until you got till the wheels are turning and the money, your value is increased, and you can survive between films and whatnot.
Another thing, money, right? To the upcoming actors and comedians or entertainers or, how you may do, like, managing your money in this time, like, is very critical when you think, because, like, I notice a lot of guys spend, like, a lot of money on things and it don't really go towards what they're doing, like, for us towards their career. I'm seeing them do it. I'm like, well, man, like, if if I would have had that, I would have put this toward that. So I know about, like, damn, I'm thinking, like, if I would have had what he had, I could have just been, but I see these guys, they just doing it. I'm like, man, like, they don't understand, like, saving and sacrificing with your money and putting towards the right things, but you should be doing. But it's like, a lot of us are not doing it. And I mean, it's a lot of guys that hang around me too do it. And I talk about it around them, but it's more like, they feel like I'm calling them out. And I'm like, managing and, it still go in with what you're doing, entertainment, managing your money, budgeting, whatever you have, man, is like, I think is like at an all-time high. You just don't want to spend your money, if you live off acting or extra jobs, what you gonna do if you
I mean, and that's just life in general, you want to be a good steward of what you have, but that goes back with appreciation. Do you really appreciate what you have? I will say, though, sometimes the best way to get your message across to people is simply lead by example. When people see that you're taking your money and you're putting it, and they have a chance to see where you started and where you ended up, people sometimes naturally just readjust themselves.
Yeah.
That's what it is to be a leader. You sometimes have to go out first, and they will follow.
I can relate. Definitely can relate, because that actually happened to me. Well, let me take it back a little bit. I actually own a company myself, so with me working, like, I spoke on this before, I work just like 10 hours a day just about, sometime. And I come in, I be beat to death, but it still take everything inside of me, because I know that's what I want, that's what I'm trying to lean towards, I know for a fact I'm going to get that, but, I just got to keep working towards it to get it. So it's like, I don't want to say I'm burning myself out and stuff. I be like, man, I'm just, I don't get me wrong, I be confused.
That's the sacrifice, though.
Yeah, I be so burnt out, I be trying to figure out, like, man, I'm like a dog chasing his tail, I'm like, man, what is going on right now? I just feel like but I understand, like, it's part of the discipline, the growth, the development, to get where you need to be at. And I understand that now. Like, first coming into it, I didn't know. I was like, I would just, tear my hair out trying to figure out what's going on, man.
This is the thing. You're really not trying to sacrifice until you get to where you're going. You're actually being conditioned, because where you're trying to go, it is sacrifice. Yeah. You hear what I'm saying? Steve Harvey were working. I was on set. Somebody said that Steve Harvey would get out of one studio and then walk across to the other one, and there's another show. This man got how many jobs? Yeah, man. Well, we don't think of it that way as a job, right? Because, that's where you want to be. Yeah. So sometimes you got to think your job is conditioning you for that job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. It's the mindset. Yeah, so, man, anything else you got, you want to lay out before we stay out here?
Man, I think you asked me a question about, freaking out during the script reading.
Yeah. I had to ask that.
again, it's starting in childhood.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, you're right.
that seed mode. That's where you're absorbing. You're supposed to be absorbing
Yeah, it's like a sponge.
and learning, and things are supposed to be ingrained in you. And I remember when I first started out, I was ashamed to sing in front of people. Right? I would have to turn my back to the audience to sing. And it's like one day it occurred to me, you actually look dumber
When you do
turning your back singing to the people than you would if you just turned
Yeah.
around and just did it. And that was like, after that, I was on it. So, there's that adrenaline rush.
Yes.
That's that adrenaline rush that comes when you're performing or speaking in front of people or doing anything new. And it's almost addictive. And if you don't have that, then that's probably when you start getting sloppy.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
My first time on stage, I was doing an open mic night. And dude was like, gave my name. It's like, everything in my brain wanted to say what I wanted to say, but like my lips would not move. I was like, and dude was like, say something. Only thing I remember saying was to get the show kicked off was like, I love like big titties and chicken wings and beer. The dude was like, ha ha ha. Then everybody started laughing. I'm like, okay, well I'm kind of in the friend zone now. You know what I mean? So I started telling random jokes, just going off. You know what I mean? They was like, yo, can you come back again? And after that, it was like stage fright. It's like you go into a discipline mode. You go on stage. It's mentally when you go on there. Like as I see it, like when I go in, I zone out the audience. You know what I mean? And I zoom myself in front of the mic, and then like I see no one.
Yes.
That's how I actually do it. It's like I close my
That's
eyes
how
when I
it's
open
done.
and take that deep breath. It's like I see no one. So now it's just now do your thing. Now you go after your set and then leave it all behind.
Not everybody can't do that. They can't be in front of everybody who they are in private.
Yeah, true.
True. So that in itself is the gift.
Yeah.
And I see your content that you're pretty funny.
Yeah.
Obviously, that I think that.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. It's hard, man, being that I had to create a whole nother account because like people kept reporting my page, I'm like, what is going on?
Reporting your page.
Like on Instagram, I know they report like your content or
Really?
they just kept reporting me, man. I'm like, and people kept saying maybe it's someone that that dislike you or bullying online, and I kept trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm like, it got to the point where they gave me these guideline strikes on Instagram, so they kind of like removed my account. I was like, holy crap, I had to create a whole other account.
Based on what?
I guess content I was making. We were doing like crazy skits and and it was insane, man. And every time we go up post a video, it was like, you got a guideline, report a guideline. I'm like, what in the world going on right now? Like, what am I doing for?
There's a lot of haters.
I'm like, what?
A lot of haters.
I'm like, I just make content. I fall off the internet. You don't see me till I make something else again. So it's like, what is going on right now?
A lot of haters.
Yeah,
A lot of people, they like you the way you are. They don't want to see you try anything. They don't want to see you do anything different.
Yeah.
A lot of haters.
So they killed my account to where I was making money on the account, but now it's like it transitions to nothing, crumb.
I think, trying to think the first time I saw you, was it Viola Davis? Shared your
I think so.
Viola Davis shared one of your I think it was Viola Davis.
A lot of people, man, like I had Manny Fresh from Hot Boys. He shared my stuff, you know what I mean? What's the name from TLC?
Face
Chili.
like,
Yeah, Chili from TLC. I've been telling people, but I don't get so hyped up behind that because, like we say, we're not aiming for the stars. We looking for what's right in front of us. So, I'm dealing with the people that's on my level. To when I be successful, I'm like, hey, I met this guy. So if we make it together, it's like, but dang, like, we all here now. So that again, that step ladder, we all go together. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, yeah. So I'm with it. Though I'm rocking till the wheels fall off. If it's comedy, film, that's why I came to you. I was like, I'm trying to get into more of the film because I want to expand my craft. I want to, read our scripts and spend time too, with the gang around the table and laughing and I know it ain't fun, but with a group of people, you can bring fun to it.
It can be fun.
Yeah,
if it's not fun to you all, and it's probably not gonna be fun to watch.
Right.
So you got to enjoy it.
Yeah, I definitely do, man. Like this life, I've been enjoying it, man, for the past almost year and a half or two. It's like I've been enjoying the ride, man. Meeting people. I was at the BET festival, joined the Essence Festival last year, and we had a blast, man. I met, like I said, Master P was on stage, and a couple more folks. I ran into a couple of content creators outside of there that do a lot on Instagram, everywhere. We had a blast, man. I learned at the same time, a learning experience, and I met new connections from people that do reality shows. And I'm like, man, once you get out, you can meet these people.
Absolutely, they're real people.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I got these people contact, and they want to hit me up. I'm like, wow. So I get to go to Miami if I'm possible. It's like, yeah, I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I never thought, you know, from being on the couch being lazy, so now you get out, you creating content, moving around. People like, yo, just do this.
It starts somewhere, you know.
Yeah,
some people just like to watch. Some people like to participate. I'm one that like to, you know, I like to be in stuff that I would watch.
Yeah, I never thought that, man. But being from working to where I'm at now, I was like, I never thought I'd be in the position that I'm in. Like, I never thought like people really cared so much from my content. And I'm like, they're like, yo, you just easy to gravitate towards. Like, you cool. I'm like, well, I didn't think.
Awesome.
I'm like, I'm just making videos, bro. That's all I'm thinking in my head. Like, I never thought, you know. But yeah, I'm having fun though. You know, anything you want to say before we close it out?
Man, I appreciate you reaching out to me. This has been a blessing. You know, I had a nice little drive on the way over. It was peaceful. Had my windows down, fresh air. It's just nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, didn't even have to get on the interstate.
You didn't? I did, man. It's madness.
Yeah.
it was madness, man. I'm like, people literally roaming off the road.
Yep.
Man. Anyway, man, we had a blast here this evening, man. My man Adrian, man. This is Rudeboy. I'm just saying, episode 102, man. You guys stay blessed, and we are out of here.
Yeah, broke, yeah, go to work, bitch. Modern day, yeah, these niggas, yeah, they worthless. Old state, hoes getting shirtless. Thank the Lord that I ain't worthless. Killing shit, yeah. Curtains. Thank the Lord that yeah, I'm up like the curtains. Oh, yeah, they fucked up. They told me one go be shit, now I'm guapped up. Yeah, ayy, yeah, the locks on. They ain't taking them off, cause I put them on. Yeah, I put the shit, yeah, up in stone. Now when niggas spinning like the fucking globe. Ayy, RIP, yeah, the takeoff. Thank the Lord, yeah, for my takeoff. Put the